Today, we have an event with the new CIPS chair, Trevor McDonald. I'll give a brief overview about CIPS and some of our member benefits, and then I'll turn it over to Trevor, who will introduce himself as the new chair, talk about the future of CIPS, and then we'll end with that Q&A portion. Quickly, just some background of CIPS, if you're not aware. We're celebrating our 65th anniversary, as CIPS was formed in September of 1958. There was a group of data processors who got together and they put on a conference to demonstrate the value of sharing ideas, networking with fellow professionals, and learning about changes in technology, similar to how our members across the country would do today. That event has sparked the formation of the Computing and Data Processing Society of Canada. And in 1968, the name was changed to the current Canadian Information Processing Society, or short is CIPS. On the right there is the founder of CIPS and also the father of computing in Canada, Calvin Kelly Gottlieb. Some more quick facts. CIPS, we're an IT federation of 9 provincial societies that license IT professionals both locally and abroad. Each CIPS provincial society is a community of IT professional members, and they provide networking and professional development opportunities. Since 1989, CIPS has the only IT designation that is legally recognized in Canada for IT professionals in the I.S.P designation, which is recognized and legislated in BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, with other provinces working towards similar legislation. We also have our ITCP designation, which was launched in 2008, which is Canada's only internationally IP3P accredited designation for senior IT professionals. CIPS's mission is to protect the public through ethic and skilled IT professionals in practice in Canada, develop and align IT standards for IT professionals and accredited programs, increase recognition of the IT profession to industry, government, academia, and the public, develop and maintain the integrity and competence of individuals active in IT, advance the theory of practice of IT and promote sharing of information, and establish public awareness of the potential impact and misuse of IT. This is just a quick glimpse at some of our relationships. CIPS has a variety of partners, both in Canada and abroad, and we work together to both raise IT standards and hold various events, both in person and virtually. CIPS also has our accreditation program, where the accreditation team visits universities and colleges and reviews their programs to ensure that they meet educational requirements and standards. If you want to check if your program was accredited by CIPS, you can do that at kips.ca/accreditation. And if you're a graduate of one of CIPS accredited programs, you're eligible for our AITP designation, as well as 1 year of free CIPS candidate membership. Some quick member benefits. CIPS has our skill assessment and career planning tool, certification of IT professionals, networking opportunities, events and professional development, community discussion forums. You can volunteer on both provincial or national boards and build new skills. And we have our niche IT job board, which you can also post jobs at a discount as a CIPS member if you're looking to fill some roles. And then finally, we have a variety of discounts on products and services. One of those I mentioned was the skills assessment and career planning tool, which if you haven't used it yet as a member, I highly recommend that you jump in and check it out. Basically, using this tool, you can assess your current IT skills using SOPHIA, which is an international skills framework. You basically take a quick survey, and after you complete the survey, you'll get an output of a report which lists all the various skills that you have, as well as the various levels. So the nice thing about this is that it'll allow you to plan for your future and any IT roles that you might want in the future. You can see where your skills gaps are, so what levels you are for current skills. And then if you overlay a current role in the future that you like, you can see where your gaps are and what professional development that you would need to take in order to upskill in those different areas to reach your career goals. You can also create an action plan in order to develop those targeted skills. And just briefly about SOPHIA, it's over 121 defined skills, global footprint, 180 countries and 12 languages, or over 12 languages. It's also not just an IT framework. There's also non-IT skills, just because there are various IT-related roles that require non-IT skills as well. And it's not also just for large companies, but can be used by individuals, small companies, or even there are countries that are using it nationally for their skills and competency. And this is kind of just a zoomed out view of Sophia. You can see all the 120 plus skills. They're organized in different areas, different knowledge areas. And you can see each individual skill has 7 levels. So on the right-hand side, this gives you an idea of level 1. You maybe just have some education, to level 7, where you have a lot of expertise in that skill. And briefly, I just touched on this, the certifications. We have our ISP, only legally recognized designation, ITCP, our internationally aligned IP3P accredited IT business designation, and then the AITP is for the pre-professional IT designation for those who have graduated from IT program and don't yet have the experience for the ISP or an ITCP. If you are interested in applying for these, I would recommend that you attend an event that I'm hosting tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, where I'll walk through in more detail what these certifications are, the requirements, and how to apply for them. And this, again, just providing just a brief summary. We'll go in, again, more detail tomorrow, but basically provide some references. You take an ethics exam, provide your education for review, as well as your experience for review, which includes that skills assessment that I just talked about. And this shows just different ways that you can get approved for a CIPS certification. So if you graduated, for example, from an accredited 4-year university degree program, you'd only need 2 years of IT experience and working at Sophia level 3. On the other side of that, if you're looking for an experience-only route, if you don't have IT education, you can get approved for the IT designation if you have 8 years of IT work experience and currently working at Sophia level 3. And you can click any of these links on the CIPS website. It'll take you to the Sophia website and give you those definitions of what those Sophia levels are. All CIPS members must abide by the CIPS Code of Ethics, which includes protecting the public interest and privacy of information, avoid conflicts of interest, take professional responsibility, and contribute to the IT profession. And if you're applying for CIPS certification, you'll be required to take the CIPS ethics exam, which basically assesses your knowledge on the CIPS Code of Ethics. This is also a free exam, so even if you aren't currently a member, we welcome you to go take that exam, and you'll get a nice certificate once completed. And we also have our IT community forum. So if you're looking to ask any questions or get some dialogue going with CIPS members, either across Canada or locally, there are different community groups. So we have our national IT water cooler forum group, but then we also do have our provincial communities. So if you have a question, log into community.kips.ca, post it in there, and then other CIPS members can either log into the community forum and participate in those discussions, or they also will receive email digests to show what new discussions have been posted in the forum, and you can also respond to those via email instead if you don't want to log into the IT community forum. Also encourage you to attend our events. We have a variety of events, both locally and virtually. This is right here is being featured our CIPS Saskatchewan event with ISACA and PMI in Regina on November 9th. So if you're in that area or can travel to it, definitely recommend registering for that conference. And then this week, we have our How to Apply for IT Certification with myself. And then on Thursday, we have Growing Ethical IT Talent in Canada with CIPS's CEO, Greg Lane. And this just touches quickly of what Greg will be talking about. This basically shows how IT skills and roles have been increasing in demand and will continue to increase. And we need to work together, both at the IT professional level as well as the organizational level, and help to foster and develop that IT talent so that we have the talent at various levels of various careers that are required, especially senior specialists. So join us Thursday, and Greg will walk you a little bit more deep into the various aspects of this infographic and how you can contribute to Canada's IT skill shortage. And also, if you're not currently a member, we'd like you to join if you are a student, or we ask you also to promote to any student members or students that you know that CIPS membership is free for full-time students. So it's a great opportunity to dive into CIPS for free and experience the benefits and being able to network with other CIPS members. So if you are a student in a full-time course, take advantage of this opportunity and register as a student. And on that note, I'm going to turn it over to Trevor, and Trevor will provide an introduction about himself, and as well as talk about the future of CIPS. And also like to remind you again, if you have any questions, please post those in the chat, and then I'll ask those to Trevor during the Q&A portion. So yeah, on that note, thanks Trevor for coming in and filling in that role as the CIPS National Chair. We're really grateful and excited to have you in that role. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting next few years. So yeah, take it away, Trevor.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be lots of fun for sure. So I guess first of all, happy IT Professionalism Week, and happy Halloween too, I guess. So as mentioned, my name's Trevor McDonald. I've been a CIPS member since and an ISP since 2005. And I'm not exactly sure when, but I've been when I started, but I've been an active member of the CIPS Saskatchewan and also the national board for the past few years. And the way my story goes was, I was a CIPS member. I valued my ISP and being an IT professional. That's what drew me to the organization. But there was a point. There was a point in time where I just felt like I had to start giving back to both the IT community and specifically CIPS. So at some point, I offered to become a member of the Saskatchewan board. I played several roles on that board, including treasurer and president, vice president, past president, all that, and the role of past president led me to represent CIPS Saskatchewan on the national board, and I got plugged in there. A few years ago, I was the director of finance for a few years, and now the opportunity to serve as chair. So I'm pretty excited. And my day job, I work for a great company called SaskTel, and I'm an IT director within the company that, in a nutshell, supports SaskTel's business customers and provides cloud and managed IT services. So that's a little bit about me. Next slide. Also, my agenda. I'm just going to tell you about. This is all my view of the world is what we're talking about today, and as we work and move forward, I hope to bring people on board and gather momentum and keep going. But I want to share my view of the current state of CIPS, what my vision is, what I see for next steps, and how we get there. So, current state as far as membership, we've been flat, I'll say, for the last number of years. However, we have over the last few years more non-paying members replacing paying members. So we're signing up a good number of students, but paid members are dropping off. So on the revenue side, we're in a decline state there. COVID's impacted the collaboration side of our IT community when it comes to events. And I know what I'm seeing specifically within Saskatchewan, I guess, is it's a bit of a challenge to get people back together physically. And we've tried to run virtual events. We've tried to run hybrid events. And, as we experiment along the way. I think we're going to find something that works. But um, if we talk future state, I think this also presents some opportunities to expand our borders. And when it does come to events and how we deliver them. On the volunteer side, we don't have enough volunteers. Quite frankly, not every province has a board. Not every province has a complete board. There's a few people doing a lot of work, and I think there's a big opportunity to get more of our membership involved in helping us get to where we need to. I know even when I look at the Saskatchewan board, we have a great group of people, and we do have some new folks. The core team has been pretty consistent over time, and I'll tell you one of the reasons I'm a board member is, and I'm actively involved, is the opportunity to work with some really good people. National office planning and provincial, how provinces and national operate are my next 2 points. And what I see today is we sit around the national table. I'll paraphrase, and we come up with our 3 to 5 year plan. We do our budgeting, and then there's no direct correlation back to the provinces in terms of delivering and meeting our goals, or even sharing common goals. It's pretty informal. So I see some opportunities there, and I'll speak to them in the next few slides. So as far as vision, where I see the organization down the road is we need to grow membership. Obviously, I'm here because I believe in CIPS. I'm here because I believe in ethical IT and community. And you're here as well, and our 2,000 plus membership is there as well. And we need to get the word out. We need to better promote ourselves to businesses. We need to better promote ourselves within academia, and we just need to get the word out there and grow our membership and really take the benefits we can offer and get them out there. I also see the opportunity to streamline operations, and these were the last 2 points I talked to on the last slide. We do a lot of things independently as far as the work we do across the different provinces. And we also spend money independently when it comes to the software that we procure, the services that we procure. So I see a big opportunity there, and just working collectively rather than independently as provinces is probably the biggest thing that I see. And even back to the volunteer, the topic of volunteering, I think that if we do more as a collection of provinces, and as far as planning and as far as executing on achieving our goals, it's time better spent. It's we're bringing all the good ideas together so we come up with solid plans and the opportunity to go and implement independently or nationally, is something that I think is a huge opportunity. And again, it's something I think that COVID is pushed along in terms of hybrid and virtual type events. Next slide, please. So next steps, and I don't know if folks have heard, but certainly if you're connected to your provincial board, what we're looking at is, each provincial society has a number of committees, and the core committees are going to focus on finance, marketing, or brand and awareness, programs like events and professional growth opportunities, and then membership, just getting the word out to business and academia, and keeping the members that we have engaged. So what we're looking at is to expand these provincial committees to national committees. So really what the goal here is we're asking for a provincial representative to sit on a national committee, each of the finance, brand and awareness program and mentorship committees, and to work as a collective national group to come up with plans to enable us to hit our strategic and financial objectives. And then we can deploy the plans nationally, for example, with events. We can run them hybrid or virtually, even across Canada. Or we can divide and conquer, and for example, the membership committee might come up with some plans to engage academia and go and talk to students and have pizza lunches and engage that way. And in that way, we can divide and conquer in meeting our strategic goals. So when I look at these committees, I'll just define them a little better here for you. So the finance committee is comprised of the provincial treasurers. This committee is responsible for overall budgeting and monitoring progress towards meeting financial goals. So instead of national coming up with a budget and crossing our fingers and hoping that the provinces do all the right things to help achieve those goals, and then provinces going off and doing their own thing, independently, will work as one team to define and reach financial goals. The membership committee is responsible for achieving membership growth targets, but by engaging students, by engaging business, really getting the word out as far as the value of IT professionalism in our IT community. The brand and awareness committee is responsible for achieving advertising and sponsorship revenue targets. A really good one here is CIPS Saskatchewan recently ran a lunch and learn event, and it was a local IT firm that sponsored the event. It was free to members, lunch and a presentation, even some giveaways as we walked out the door. But it's a perfect example of how we can get corporate and membership together in a way that's mutually beneficial and provides benefits both to our sponsors and our membership. And then the program committee is responsible for event planning and achieving events like I just talked about. And the next thing here is, so the committees, and I think where we are with the committees is we've done a call out to the provinces to say, hey, give us a name, and we want to start kicking these things off. We've got a few provinces participating at this time, and we're going to start the discussions, and then we'll keep reminding provinces that we want to end up with everyone represented, and we'll build these committees up as we go. And then the next thing here is an operational review. So I talked a lot about how we operate independently. There's certainly value in that in some respects, in some focus areas. But when you look at things like shared services, and I mentioned we all use similar but often different types of software. We use similar but often different types of services. Financial audits, for example, collaboration tools, for example. There's likely an opportunity for us to centralize those services and drive some economies of scale and some cost savings, and at the same time allow the provinces to focus more on delivering value back to membership, to getting businesses more educated as far as the value of hiring IT professionals, just dealing with that side rather than the administrative financial obligations and audits and procuring software and all this kind of stuff. So looking for those kind of opportunities. Next slide, please. And we can't do this without volunteers. So my pitch here, and I know word of mouth can help a lot too, but I'll tell you, based on my experience with CIPS, you are not experiencing or taking a CIPS membership or an ISP to the full level or to the full advantage if you're not volunteering. Volunteering what I found is it takes it to a new level in terms of the people you get to meet and work with, and the things that you get to achieve. I know I've certainly enjoyed all the time that I've spent on the CIPS board. So I encourage people, join your local board, get involved, be a mentor, or a mentee if you're in that situation. But get to know the people within your community. I think I've had three mentees, and they all were international mentees, but I still talk to each one of them regularly. It's not just a stop and start thing. It can be a life-changing experience. And join our national committees. Like get involved and get your ideas out there so that we can do better and succeed collectively. Um, Help shape the future and our successes and that of the IT profession. So I just encourage, and I know lots of times people don't even know there's opportunities to help out, but there certainly are. And I'm excited to get lots of people involved, and like I said, take all the great ideas and put them to work and making this a better organization, one that supports our IT community and supports our members. That's what I had to cover, so I guess I'll open it up to any questions.
Yeah, so again, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat, or even during this portion, you feel free to unmute your mic and put in your camera if you'd like to verbally ask your question. One question I have here is, what is the best way to volunteer? So I guess most likely your best way would be to contact your CIPS Provincial Society, see what current volunteer opportunities are available on your CIPS Provincial Board, and then also ask them about the national volunteer opportunities that Trevor talked about. Another way is you can also contact the CIPS National Office at info@kips.ca, and then we can also help facilitate that introduction to your CIPS Provincial Society and see what volunteer options are available and how you can contribute to our IT community.
Yeah, 100%. And you nailed it, Jonathan. It's begin with your provincial society, because what we do nationally in your progression as a CIPS volunteer and even board member is provincial to national. So we need these national committees to be extensions of and representatives of what we're doing provincial. So that's a great question.
Another question I have here is, what benefits have you obtained from CIPS membership? And I think you talked a little bit about that, especially the important part about volunteering to get the full benefit of CIPS membership in order to, I guess, obtain new skills in different roles that you might not have at your everyday job, as well as being able to network and meet a lot of different IT professionals, whether it be on the board or at events or even these national committees and connecting with members across the country, or even to your point, talking about you had two mentees that were international members. So I think that's also something you have to remember, is that we do have a lot of CIPS members from all around the world. So, CIPS is also a resource in order to connect not just with those locally in Canada, but also around the world.
Yeah, for sure. And so it's definitely not the pay. But what it is what I get out of being a part of CIPS and volunteering really is just playing a role in something that I believe in. And again, that goes back to IT professionalism. I take very seriously, and the IT community.
Great. Well, if you have any other questions, we definitely encourage you to email either Trevor at chair@kips.ca. You can also reach us at info@kips.ca. And sorry, just checking, but we got just a couple quick questions that also just came in. So maybe I'll look at those quickly before we wrap things up. Are there any IT volunteer opportunities for newcomers to Canada that have CIPS membership? And Trevor, feel free to answer that. But my first reaction would be, I don't think it matters where you are a CIPS member. If you're in Canada or a country outside of Canada, we basically treat all members the same, and we looking forward for your assistance and contribution, no matter where you're located. The other question here is, what is the average processing time for CIPS certification? So currently, we do have a high volume of applications. There has been a large demand for CIPS certification. So usually in the past, that's been about 2-month processing time. However, at the moment, it is at 6 months processing time or review time. However, this is also related to that the volunteer question, where essentially we are looking for more volunteers, and at the moment we have additional both experience and education review committee volunteers that have been undergoing training and will be able to assist with the large amount of applications. So number one, we are taking steps to have more reviewers in order to review more applications and reduce that review time. And two, if you have the IT knowledge or experience, that is a great way to contribute to CIPS and our IT community by joining the CIPS Experience or Education Review Committee. And yeah, I think that's all the questions we have for now. And if you have any other questions, if it's not for Trevor, if it's just a general question about CIPS certification, membership, or anything else, your best email would be info@kips.ca. And then on that note, I'd like to thank Trevor again for taking his time, not only for the call today, but also to help lead CIPS as the chair of the National Board. We're really excited about all your plans for the year, and I'm really appreciative also of the goal and the mindset to get everything consolidated nationally and get lots of our members working together nationally, and then help to increase that value locally and get our members as engaged as possible, and again, provide as much value as possible. So thank you, Trevor.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Jonathan. Appreciate everything you did to put this together, and thanks everyone for attending.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.